Peace. Marlowe, I appreciate you making space for me in your room, brother. You're talking about the surface tension, but I'm looking at the load-bearing joints of the globe. The way the blueprints are bending under the weight. I'm Ximam. Let's look at the structure. Yeah. In the mouth of the Gulf where the geography tightens like a fist, the UAE felt the fire falling, missiles screaming through the mist. 21 miles of salt and oil, a doorway in the sand, between the cliffs of Musandam and the heat of the Persian land. 6 small boats from Tehran's fleet went beneath the salt and foam, sent to the floor by the heavy lead, far away from any home. It's a battle for the throat of the world, a 20-mile vital space, where the blueprints of the empire meet the fire face to face. It's the geometry of the choke point, the narrowing of the way, the price we pay for the current that we use to power the day. It's the pressure on the joint, the fracture in the floor, the sound of the ocean closing behind the heavy door. Everything we build rests on a thread of narrow blue, and I'm just the one naming the shape of the ghost we're moving through. I look at the map and I see the CAD lines, the vectors of the greed, the way we pave the water to satisfy a structural need. You call it a skirmish, I call it the stress on a load-bearing wall. We built the world on a needle's eye, and we're waiting for it to fall. Iran knows the lever, they know where the foundation is thin. They don't need to win the war, they just need to let the chaos in. They aren't just fighting for the waves, they're fighting for the lock, the hand that turns the handle, the hand that winds the clock. The world is a very small room when the lights go out. We spent a century building a roof that requires the sun to never set, but the shadows have a way of finding the corners we forgot to finish. The water is cold, the math is older than the ships. We're just watching the ink dry on a map that's already burning. So we sink the boats and we clear the path and we call it the day's work, ignoring the structural rock where the deeper questions lurk. You can't fix a structural failure with the hammer in the shell, when the design of the entire system is a manufactured hell. The strait is open for a moment, but the tension's in the wall. And when the geometry fails, we're the ones who take the fall. It's the geometry of the choke point, the narrowing of the way, the price we pay for the current that we use to power the day. It's the pressure on the joint, the fracture in the floor, the sound of the ocean closing behind the heavy door. Everything we build rests on a thread of narrow blue, and I'm just the one naming the shape of the ghost we're moving through. Keep your eyes on the valves, friends. The pressure doesn't just disappear. I appreciate the seat at the table. Marlowe, respect. This has been musically yours, naming the structure before the foundation gives way. Take us home, Marlowe. The mic is yours.